of plenty. Joseph finds his way to Egypt and then becomes the prime minister by a technology that we must understand if we are going to walk in dominion. It took more than prayer for Joseph to go there. Joseph prayed to get to the palace, but when he got to the palace, he did not pray there. Now there was a place of creativity and intelligence, albeit by the Spirit, but in the presence of the king, it was not prayer he prayed. The prayer was to prepare him to get to the king. God supported his arrival there by shutting the heavens over the sorcerers, so that they would check and not be able to interpret the king's dream. And here comes Joseph. The king sent for Joseph. It was up to Joseph now if he had prepared. When he stood there, the king said, "This is my dream. 7 cows, 7 lean cows, 7 ears of corn, well nourished, the poor ones." And he said, "O king, let me give you your interpretation. The Lord will give Pharaoh an answer of peace." Pharaoh, right. This is competence at work now. Are we together? And he said, "O king, what you saw is 7 years of plenty that will be followed by 7 years of famine." And then when he was done, that was not the answer. He said, "Now let me give you a recommendation." He didn't say, I am a child of Yahweh, so he didn't need to do that. The light in him was showing. And he said, "O king, save 20% of your produce for that 70 years. Economic solutions." And as soon as he gave that, the king looked. Do you know what Joseph said? He said, "King, search for a man discreet and wise." It was a diplomatic way to say, "I dare you, check the entire Egypt. If you will find a man with that dual combination of the intelligence of priesthood and then who knows how to perform his kingly duty." Please sit down. And the king said, "For as much as God has shown you this, there is no man, oh, I don't care where you are coming from, I don't care what tribe you are, you have answered the king. Competence will veto your background. Competence will veto the limitations of status quo." Many believers give excuses, but I am praying, why am I not being promoted? You are an excellent priest, but your job is looking for the king, not just the priest. Are you seeing where we have failed? And it is the assignment of the men and women of God to holistically mentor the body of Christ. On one hand, to be excellent as far as our priesthood is concerned, but not to leave us there. The purpose of priesthood is to help you access the resources that makes for your excelling. But when they arrive, you take on your priestly regalia and dress like the king that you are and begin to demonstrate the intelligence of the kingdom. Are we together? So Joseph professed an economic solution, and 3 things happened to him at once. The king said, "I am Pharaoh, and except on the throne that I'll be higher than you, but as far as the matters of administration over Egypt is concerned, you are Lord." Immediately he was given a wife without struggling, and they brought to him the wife of Potiphar, the priest of On. They gave him a new name. They dressed him with a royal regalia. In 24 hours, the lifting power of kingship. If you understand your place as a king, that is dominion. Now watch this. When Joseph got there, under his watch, he preserved the people of God. That was the purpose of his arrival there, until he died, and there was another Pharaoh who knew no Joseph. Hear what he said. He said, "When you are leaving Egypt, carry my bones." Do you know what he was saying? Carry this formula. It's not just carry my physical bones. There is a structure. When you leave Egypt, don't leave without, learn the lesson. You were not there. It's now 430 years. But when you are leaving, remember that as you sojourn, do not be priests alone. Be priests